I've been volunteering on the worship team for 6 months, and I love serving, but I feel like the time and commitment deserves some kind of pay. How do I bring that up to my pastor?
Whew, okay, let's get into this. Now, musicians, this one's going to get a little tight, but hear me out. If we're going to talk money, let's talk about more than money. Before you ask your pastor for a check, let's ask ourselves these three questions. First, am I excellent? David didn't get called before the king because he was available. He got called because he was skilled. So I ask you, are you showing up, practiced, on time, and on key, or are you asking to be paid for participation and not your preparation? Second question to ask yourself is, am I invested? Like, do you carry the heart of the house, or do you clock in and clock out? Do you add to the culture, or do you just take from it?
Mm.
Are you developing others on the team, or just building your own platform?
I think that this is a very dope take. Thus far, I'm gonna keep watching through it to see what the rest of the take is. But I think this is value of what I promote and push on this platform. If you are looking to uh, be taken care of by a specific ministry or by a church or being paid for what you do, then you should definitely be as he just stated, skilled at what you do. You know what I mean? You should be practiced. You should take it seriously because you're wanting to do this as a job, as a form of your income. So you should take it as seriously as you would take any other regular job that you are being paid for. That doesn't make it any less spiritual. I know we get into these conversations all the time, get stuck here about church musicians getting paid and all of that stuff. But I'm saying if someone is dedicating their life, their heart, all of those things to it, then they definitely should be paid for it. And there's nothing wrong with having these conversations. But I agree with what he's saying on that. And also, as we also have talked about, being connected at some form or level, understanding what it is that the ministry is doing and what they're bringing you in to do, and being connected to the vision of or the mission of what that organization is. You know what I mean?
And here's the big one. Are you actually a member of the church? Like, I heard you say you're pastors, so I'm assuming you are. But, like, are the leaders of this church your pastors? Okay, I'm definitely about to get in trouble with where I'm about to go. But here's how we tell if you're a member of the church before you ask for the money, is were you tithing here before you broached this conversation? Not because tithing is required to be a musician in a church, but it is the clearest indication of your heart posture. Because if you're expecting to be paid by the house, you should probably be planted in the house. Okay, let's get out of there.
Okay, so this is another, kind of space where I would probably tend to go a little bit left from where he is on that or what have you, because I don't think that that's necessarily a requirement. And he did point out that it's not a requirement, but I don't think that that necessarily is something that proves the posture of connection just because I give money into an organization. It can be indicative of it, but there are people and members and people that tithe or give offerings or put money into a organization, not because they're so in connected with it, but it's a tax write-off, and there's members that give their tithes or pay their offerings or whatever to the church, and they have really no connection or they don't live life that's connected. So I don't necessarily mean make that that's a standard. I don't think that's something that we need to make that indicative of it or should be a requirement. And I've said this before, like even I haven't tithed in over a decade into a ministry. That doesn't mean I haven't given into a ministry. I give into ministry. I don't tithe as a principle like that. That's not or anything like that. Do with that what you will. But aside from that, even when I was giving tithing into a ministry, I did not tithe into the same place that was paying me. So if you believe in that, if that's your bag, I'm not going to stand 10 toes with you on that, because most people that believe it, they're wholeheartedly like locked in on that. They'll stand 10 toes. I don't want to go 10 toes with you on that. So you got that, as my kids say. My son say that, you know what, you got that, bro. If that's where you are, I still believe that you should not be putting into the same pot that you're taking from. That's the principle that I walk by when I was into that bag. But so that's my thing. I say, if you're going to tithe or if you're going to give, don't give into the same place that you're taking from. You know what I'm saying? That's just my perspective. You know what I mean? So do with that what you will.
And number 3, ask yourself, are my expectations realistic? Are you asking for a touring rate from a church still meeting in the cafeteria? This isn't about value, it's about context. I believe you're worthy of your wages. My pastor said something to me once that I can't shake. He said, I'll never tell someone what they're worth, only what I can afford. But if you're asking for weight, you better be ready to carry some. Don't just check your rate, check your heart.
I've been volunteering on the worship team.
That's a fire take. Overall, 8 out of 10. I totally wholeheartedly agree, especially point 3 as well. You don't want to be asking for touring rates from a storefront. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference and that's power in that. You know what I'm saying? And understanding that. I like having these balanced, nuanced conversations because it's not always rah 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 against churches that don't want to pay musicians, but it also is rah 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 against musicians that need to understand how to conduct themselves. Because I always say this in whether it's in business, whether it's in life, whether it's in ministry, whether it's whatever, you don't get what you want in life. You get what you negotiate. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with negotiating a rate for your time because it is a time exchange. You know what I mean? There's a value exchange transaction. The pastor, the church, the ministry, they want your time. You know what I mean? They want your connection. You know what I mean? They want those things from you to be able to forward their vision, forward their plans, forward their mission. You know what I mean? And there should be a conversation that of what that costs and what I need to be able to devote my time towards that. And in that, as a musician, you have to understand your value. And you have to be realistic about your value. Like he said, are you practiced? Do you take this seriously? Is this like as serious of a 9 to 5 to you than it is working at the Amazon or whatever, insert company here? Or do you take it that serious? You know what I mean? Are you skilled at what you do? Do you know how to play in all your keys? Do you know how to rehearse a band? Do you know how to coordinate volunteers? Do you know how to motivate and lead in the capacity that they're asking you to lead from? You know what I'm saying? Understand your value, understand your worth, know what you bring to the table, and walk in there confident with that. You know what I'm saying? Also, do you live a lifestyle that is indicative of that posture that you're asking for? I would add that as a number 4. Is your lifestyle in check? You know what I mean? Are you going to be doing something outside of that ministry that's going to bring shame if someone saw you doing that thing? And that doesn't mean that you can't play secular gigs. That's a whole different conversation. We're talking about like sinful things, you know what I'm saying? And you know what those sinful things are. Have you checked those things in your life? You know what I'm saying? And you're fully devoted, fully committed to giving your gift and your time, your talent, and all of those things towards the Lord in order to be able to provide for yourself. The Bible says a man's gift will make room for him and bring him before great men. So there's nothing wrong at all with utilizing your gift to provide for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Working with your hands. The Bible says minding your business, working with your hands. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do as musicians. And I think this is a dope take. I think you should definitely. I'm going to link the full video down. You guys should go, check it out. And also go, follow this guy. It's really good content. That's what I got to say about it. Talk to you guys on the next one.
Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy, John Mike. If you've been rocking with my content and you want to go beyond what YouTube allows, what social media allows, that's exactly why I created my Patreon. Over there, I break down the real side of music tech, business, how this industry actually works, the creative side. I'm talking exclusive podcasts with your favorite creators. And there's 3 ways that you can join. There's a support tier that starts at just $5 a month. That's for people who just want to support my work and get early access to the content that I create. The Creator Plus tier goes deeper into the tools, the workflows, the plugins, everything that I use to create and scale out my content. And then there's the Business Plus tier. This is where we talk strategy, monetization, ownership, all of the things that I do to make money, how I scaled a 7-figure company, how you can can do it too. Asking questions, all of the crazy things that you want to know about how to build a sustainable, real career in music. So if you're really ready to take this to the next level and grow your creative business this year, then please join me over there at Patreon. The link is down below. I'll talk to you guys over there. Let's get it.